Hi again, I'm Wendy Birch, and welcome to our Women's Wellness webisodes with the one and the only Dr. Sherry. And by the way, you'll want to know this. Dr. Sherry, for the second year in a row, has been named one of Hollywood's top docs by The Hollywood Reporter. She's one of the most sought-after OBGYNs here in Los Angeles, and she's right here for you. We're talking about women's fertility health, especially over the advanced age of 35. Why is it harder for women, especially women over 40, to get pregnant?
Women over 40 have two hurdles to get over. The first is older eggs mean harder time getting pregnant with each ovulation. So if you're over 40, you have about a 15% chance every month of getting pregnant. So it's harder to get pregnant, and then second, it's harder to stay pregnant. And that's really because there's a higher miscarriage rate if you're over 40.
What I love about our relationship is that from a very early age, when I was in my early 30s, you and I were talking about this. We had a dialogue about it, and you also encouraged me to go and take some tests. I think a lot of women don't know the tests that are available to help determine the quality of your eggs.
Yeah, well, there are two really great tests out there. The first is called an FSH, it's a follicle stimulating hormone. The second is an AMH, and that's an anti-Müllerian hormone, and that's the best way to know how viable your eggs are.
Wow, great indicators. We'll talk more about that later as well, because there's a science to it and some numbers, but they're such a great indicator. Now let's say you get pregnant, you're at an advanced maternal age. What are the complications that you face? And you should be prepared for it.
Yeah, the most common complications have to do with genetic and chromosomal abnormalities, and that's really why your miscarriage rate is so high. And then once you get over that miscarriage rate, then you're concerned about high blood pressure, pregnancy, which you had, diabetes. You actually have a higher incidence of twins, preterm labor.
Twins, well, that could be good and bad,
I agree.
depending on your perspective.
I agree. And C-section, which you also had.
That's right. We'll talk more about the C-section as well. It was quite an experience. Women don't talk about C-sections nearly enough.
No, but I'm glad you are here to talk about it.
That's right, and we will in one of our upcoming webisodes. I find that science could be so comforting when it comes to you're carrying a baby, you know the risk, but there are tests to help reassure you of the health and wellness of your baby while it's in your stomach.
Exactly. The two tests that everyone knows about when they're pregnant is CVS testing, which is done between 11 and 14 weeks, and an amniocentesis. And that's done at 16 to 18 weeks, and that's going to tell you your chromosomes. And with 98% accuracy, which is great. The other less invasive tests are a blood test that you can actually do at 10 weeks. And not only will you find out about some of the abnormalities, but also gender.
Oh, that's right. And this was very fun because at 10 weeks, I was so excited. I knew because you gave me a call. I'll remember this moment. She told me I was having a baby boy. And he's a cutie too. He really is. But you don't have to take my word for it. I'm just the mother. What do I know? She knows an awful lot. If you'd like to find out more about women's health issues as they pertain to fertility and just a whole gamut of questions and answers out there, go to drsherry.com, and we'll have much more. Tune in for our next webisode. We'll be talking about preeclampsia, something I had a little bit of experience with.
Unfortunately, you did.
I know.